Well, I got my drone a chili suit, I guess. And it explains that nothing was moving anymore. Hello, Bernard here. Today we are at Weikalsee, or better, the kleiner Weikalsee, the smaller Weikal Lake. Because the bigger one is somewhere else, and it's basically everything is forbidden there. You're probably not even allowed to look at it, because I just read swimming is forbidden, diving of course, anything else. So yeah, it was like typical Austrian German style, like 8 or 9 things are forbidden. So yeah, I guess the ducks will probably leave when I bring the U-boat to the water. Well, let's see what's inside. I assume mostly fish, but you never know. So let's see how deep the area at the jetty is, because here apparently it's too shallow to put the drone in. Yeah, these are basically marines. They can swim, they can walk, and they can fly. So pretty much what the Marine Corps is able to do. I mean the US Marine Corps. I'm not sure about the Royal Marines. I don't think they have any airborne elements. Anyway, this is perfectly clear water in comparison to the Danube. You're a little curious, huh? I don't think ducks can have rabies. Then again, doesn't look too dumb. You're not afraid of me, huh? Sadly, I don't have anything to feed to you. I only brought some apple juice. I'm clearly not giving that to you. I also don't think you have need for it. I guess it found and realized there's nothing she can get here. Oh look, reinforcements coming in. Yeah, look, this is basically an escort. A male in front, in the back, and then a female in the middle. Yeah, as you come for exploring underwater, but you stay for the ducks. Yeah, I gotta get going to work, because else it starts raining again. She's really curious. Here's the duck, and here's my fifish, now rigged with an action cam pointing backwards, but mostly for catching some sound. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, I think they realize I'm not a threat. I hope they don't consider me food or something. Yeah, we probably should give her a name, so if you have any suggestions for a name, drop one in the comment section. I mean, we also have plenty of more to name, I guess. Although I probably might have problems re-identifying them. The Great Duck Marsh. I have no idea what they're doing. It looks quite interesting. So yeah, maybe these are really reincarnated Marines, and they are now training a naval invasion and now pushing inland or something. I don't know. Because they didn't seem too bothered by me. But I assume there are worms up there. More usually in the meadows. Not really sure. Well, if somebody knows, please let me know in the comment section. So at this point I'm confused since I can move the drone still, but I can't get up anymore. It is more apparent on the rear camera, but keep in mind I don't have access to that during the dive, only afterwards. I try to move, but nothing really works as it should be. And I'm really confused. Eventually the drone crashes, and way too late I turn off the engines. I try to turn them on again several times after I pulled it out a bit, which in hindsight was not a particularly smart idea. But I'm also pretty scared at that time. But I'm soon quite relieved when I find out that pulling out the drone is actually quite easy, as long as there are no major obstructions in the water, which so far was never the case. Now this is probably the first crayfish I ever saw underwater with the drone, although I only noticed it while editing the footage. So back then I had a very small phone I used, now I use a tablet, but still even on the tablet, most of the time I figure out stuff at home. Now I really love this scene with the perch. Look at how it extends its back fins. Note here's another crayfish, and again I only saw it in the editing process. While I was diving I only was aware of the perch, and I really love the combination of catching both perch and crayfish at the same time. Now here was an object on the lake bed. In hindsight, it was probably a leaf. I figured out nowadays a lot of times if I see something underwater which looks like an interesting object, 90% of the time it's a leaf, because the leaves generally look a bit different. Sometimes they're also quite bright and they also move a certain way. But I figured basically out the pattern now, how it looks. And when I was on the way with a friend, he also immediately turned to a leaf, and I talked to him. That is probably a leaf, and yeah, it was a leaf. At this point, I didn't realize how close the lake bank was. Only after I scared the duck away at the surface, which was quite close to me, I figured out where my drone was. So as you can see, I basically moved past the duck because I wasn't even aware of it, I think, at all. I was just figuring out what is on the ground. Noticed a very small fish here, which I of course didn't see while I was diving. Now here I turn on the lights. This is basically to see the drone from the surface. Quite often I use the light not for lighting up the underwater circumstances, but to basically spot the drone more easily. Because if I turn on the lights, usually underwater there's too much stuff floating around that it reflects back so much that I see actually less. But finding the drone, usually with the lights on, even during daytime, is often very helpful. Particularly if the lighting, like here, to the rain is bad. Everything went fine so far. There was some troubles. I ran into I talked with somebody and didn't pay too much attention, and my drone apparently drifted into the seaweed. No, it's not seaweed, lakeweed or something, and it couldn't rise anymore and anything. I didn't see much what was going on, but when I pulled it out, it basically turned, yeah, my drone turned into a ghillie suit. It was completely covered in the weed. I had some fun with the ducks, and probably the most interesting thing is I ran into a swarm of perch and they swam with me, or I swam with them, so we did a bit of formation swimming, or at least it looked to me that way. I'm also curious to look at the footage later on in large, because on the screen, because I assume I missed probably some stuff. I also pulled out some dirt, a small net with some cable on it, which I will now throw in the garbage. I also found out that the ducks are really friendly, but they don't like my tether. So when the tether is swimming on the water, they're really like suspicious. You can see them and then move away. And at one point, a duck was stuck basically between my drone and the feather, and it basically then it shows, okay, I go over the feather, because I guess it assumes that the drone is some predator, or at least something it doesn't know. And yeah, it was quite fun to watch. And once I accidentally scared a duck because I was coming too close to it. I didn't see it. I mean, I was underwater, I didn't notice. But suddenly the duck freaked out. I looked there, and then I looked, oh, and then I saw my drone. Yeah, so yeah, sorry duck for that. But yeah, besides that, yeah, I had to interrupt the whole thing because there was too much rain, and my equipment right now is not weatherproof. So the remote control, and mainly the phone I was using, because it's an old phone. Today I should get my waterproof tablet, and then I probably get a sun hood or something that ideally also protects the remote control from rain, and then we should be fine. I also will probably get a rain jacket, but that was not the main problem today. So I also had one, but I didn't put it on. Yeah, and besides that, the Jetty is quite interesting, because yeah, it moves a bit, so, and it's too wet to sit down, so that might be an issue at one point, but generally it was great here. And of course the visibility is way better than in the Danube. I probably only will realize how far I can look when I look at the footage on the home screen. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.